Hey guys, Tex here. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to do a flight here in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I have this new aircraft add-on, the CRJ 550. We're flying the United Express livery. We are here at Denver, Colorado. We're at Denver International. We're going to be doing a very short flight to Aspen. So I've got the flight plan pulled up here on Navigraph. I'm not 100%, I'm still pretty new to this. I'm not 100% sure that this would be appropriate, but basically we're looking at flying a departure out of Denver via Con 7, which brings us like this into the J60 airway. And then we're going to be arriving and coming in with the runway, localizer runway 15 at Aspen. With the Bravo Uniform Lima Delta Golf arrival. So very short flight. We're looking at about 109 nautical miles, which is nothing for this bird. Probably won't even get up to any super high cruising altitudes. It's just going to be a short hop over there, and really more than anything, just to kind of test out the aircraft. I'm still very new to this, so I thought it'd be fun to just kind of make a video and learn as we go along. I have obviously done some testing with it, but I'm far from being an expert at this. So we're here on the tarmac, and it is cold and dark. We're going to go ahead and get things fired up. So let's turn on our little Aerosoft iPad over here, and let's start going through the aircraft. So all the doors and stuff are closed. I'm not really going to mess with opening all those up. We don't have to spend too much time here, but we will go ahead and connect the ground power cart. So we'll go ahead and get some power going here, and we're going to go get my view set up here. All right, so we're going to go up to our upper panel and turn on the battery and DC service. And then you can see we have ground AC power available, so we'll turn that on. And we'll start to get some systems going here on the aircraft. Let's turn on some lights. Okay, let's go ahead and turn on our nav lights. Let's get down here. Just turn on some more lighting. So it's here at sunrise. It should be a really beautiful flight. The weather looks good. Let's turn on the IRS. Whoops. To nav. Okay, and we can get rid of our master cautions. Just looking down our list of warning messages here. That all looks fine for now. And let's turn on the emergency lights. We'll turn seatbelts and no smoking to auto. And a couple more lights over here. Okay, let's look at our checklist. So before engine start, we make passenger signs are on. Landing elevation is set. Let's go ahead and set that now. Set our barometer. Okay, so landing elevation is set. FMS checked and set. Iris is on and aligned. Radios are on, and we're going to do the takeoff briefing right now. Okay. So let's get down to our flight computer here and start programming in this flight. So I'm not really familiar with this. This is still very, very new to this. So what I'm going to do is just kind of do a, definitely not 100% legit, but we're just going to do a direct to each of these waypoints because I'm not, haven't really totally figured out how to program the departures and arrivals and all that good stuff yet. So we're starting out at Denver. That's Kilo Delta Echo November. So we're going to punch that into the position ident here. So Kilo Delta Echo November. And oops, go to position and we'll plug that in there. We'll copy those coordinates, paste, and then we can go to flight plan. And once again, we're going to do Kilo Delta Echo November for our origin. And we are going to Kilo Alpha Sierra Echo Aspen, Colorado destination. We won't worry about an alternate airport. It's so close. And then let's go to the next page. Okay, so now we're going to plug in our waypoints. So the first one is foams. So we're going to go direct to foams. Where do they come up with these names anyway? Okay, and then we go to Tavern. Tavrn. Yes. All right, and then we're going to go direct to... I don't really see the need to punch in every single one of these. We're just going to go direct to Connor just to save some time. I mean, it's not 100% realistic flight here anyways. CONNR. Okay, and then we go direct to Werner, which is WERNR. And that brings us right into our approach into Aspen. There are, I don't see any waypoints here. Let's just look at low altitude. I don't see any waypoints there either. We could do this waypoint and then that would catch us. I don't think we're going to have to do that. We'll be able to eyeball this. It's a beautiful weather. It's going to be a visual approach from here. So this will get us where we need to go. I'll go ahead and put in this one here. Let's see if we can put that in just to make sure that we're heading in the right way. TS bouts, and we can do that. Okay, there we go. Now I think we just do execute. There we go. So we have our flight plan. Zoom out and see it's pretty straightforward flight plan. Should get us right there within visual range of the airport. And then you can see the go around here. Our go around is we're going to turn to the right, and then there's holding patterns over here if that needs to be done. So that looks good. Now let's pull up the airport information for Denver, and we're going to turn on the moving map so you can see this is where we're located here at this gate. And I believe we're going to be taking off runway 17 right. I do have an IFR flight set up, so let's go ahead and get our IFR clearance from the from clearance control here. Let's pull up the
Denver clearance delivery Tango X-ray 522 IFR to Aspen, ready to copy.
Tango X-ray 522 is cleared to Aspen Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 17 right, climb and maintain 13,000 feet. Departure frequency is 128.45 squawk 6232.
okay 17 right.
Tango X-ray 522 cleared to Aspen Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 17 right, climb and maintain 13,000 feet. Departure on 128.45 squawk 6232.
522 readback is correct. Contact ground on 131.975 when ready to taxi. Good day.
All right, let's go ahead and get the aircraft fired up here. So we are going to turn on the beacon, and then let's see, we're going to turn on the fuel boost pumps. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, sorry about that. Let's turn those back off. Let's start up the APU first. So in the back of the aircraft, there's like a generator, basically an APU that can be used to power the aircraft and all the electronics and everything. Of course, we're plugged into ground power right now, but we'll get the APU going and then we can disconnect from ground power. So the APU door is open. We'll hit the start button and come down here. You want to see the RPM and the EGT rising. And you can hear that starting up. Here's the little door that opens. So the APU kind of sits right here in the tail of the aircraft. It's almost like a little jet engine on its own, but just kind of a generator powering the aircraft to get that going. Man, those sounds are awesome. Okay, so APU is online. Let's go back up to our top panel here. Let's go ahead and turn on our hydraulics. Oops, on, auto, auto, and then we got to wait for APU to be available. Once that's available, we can disconnect from ground power here. Let's check everything else. Once APU becomes available, we'll turn on the air conditioner. There it is. Okay, so ground power is disconnected. Let's turn on the air conditioner. And turn on window heating there. That looks good. Let's go down to our bottom panel here. We'll do that in a minute. I think that's it. Okay, I think what we need to do now is we're pretty much ready to go. We just need to disconnect the power cart, remove the wheel chocks, and request pushback. So let's go to aircraft. Okay, so let's disconnect that. Let's remove the wheel chocks. And let's go ahead and request pushback here. There we go.
Denver ground, Tango X-ray 522 requesting pushback.
Tango X-ray 522 pushback request accepted.
Okay, let's turn off the parking brake. Okay, while he's pushing us back, we'll go ahead and get our engine started up here. And to do that, we're going to turn on the boost pumps now. And let me just look behind us too. I kind of have to drive this guy. I'm just going to have him push us straight back here. Right, so while he's doing that, let's make sure everything is ready to go to start the engines. I think we are good. So what we're going to do is start with our right engine. We're going to press that start button. And then we're going to come down here. We want to see this N2 rising once it gets to about 19.5 to 20. We'll go ahead and introduce the fuel right there. So let's introduce the fuel and put this up into the idle position. We can have this guy go ahead and stop.
Denver ground, Tango X-ray 522 requesting the end of pushback.
Tango X-ray 522 request to end pushback received.
Set the parking brake back on. Okay, so we have a good start on that engine. Let's go ahead and start up the other engine. We're going to come here and start that left engine. Same process. We're going to watch N2. Let's see, N2 rise to 19.5 or so. There it is. Introduce the fuel. Put that in idle. Okay, we have good oil temperature and pressure on the right engine. Coming up into the green on the left engine. Okay, so we have a good start, both engines. Let's go ahead and do some house maintenance cleanup. We're going to turn on the stabilizer trim, mock trim. Yaw dampener comes on after takeoff. Looks like we've cleared all of our warnings here except for the APU, seat belts, and no smoking. That should be already set. It's on auto. Okay. So let's just check our checklist. After start, generators auto, electrics check, bleed valves are all on auto, packs on, APU, turn that off in a second. We don't need anti-ice. Okay, so engines are running. I'll go outside. See the engines running, pretty cool there. So now we can turn off the APU. We don't need that running, so let's just hit that stop button. And that will start to power down. We'll see the APU, the RPMs and everything dropping here. We're going to let those fall, and then the last thing to do is to close that door out here. We'll get that closed. So we can go ahead and request permission to taxi. Let's contact the ground here.
Denver ground, Tango X-ray 522 with Oscar ready to taxi IFR.
Tango X-ray 522 taxi to and hold short of runway 17 right using taxiway Bravo November Kilo Bravo Sierra Echo Charlie Mike 10. Contact tower on 132.35 when ready.
Taxi to
Okay, so we got a little bit of taxiing to do here. So he wants us to taxi to runway 17 right, which is right here by us, and we're going to take Bravo November Kilo Bravo Sierra. Where is... oh, here we go. Bravo. This is Bravo Alpha. No? Why can't I just go straight out of here to Mike? That doesn't make any sense. That's what I'm going to do. Screw what he's telling me to do. Alright, so we are ready. Let's turn off the parking brake. And let's get out of here. Clear to the left. Clear to the right. Now you got to give it a little bit of throttle here to get things moving, but it will pretty much taxi at idle once you get the ball rolling. Oops, let's turn on our nose wheel steering. There we go. Okay, so flaps into takeoff position. Throttles to idle for taxi, and before takeoff, kind of skip the taxi checklist. Flight controls trimmed. Oh, we gotta set the trim. Okay, don't forget to do that. Everything else looks good, and then before takeoff, light strobes on, flight attendant advised, blah blah blah. That looks good. Okay, we need to remember to set the trim. The trim is 5.8. 5.8. There it is. Trim set 5.8. Perfect. Alright. Pay attention where we're going. Looks like we need to turn left and go right over here, and that takes us right into runway 17 right. So we can go ahead and... oops, I didn't mean to close that down totally. But that's fine. We'll leave it closed for now. And there's the runway right there in front of us. The sounds are just great with this aircraft. That's just so cool. Okay, let's pull up tower and request takeoff.
Denver Tower Tango X-Ray 522 ready for IFR departure runway 17 right.
Tango X-ray 520 altimeter between 0.21061 and 7. Cleared for takeoff runway 17 right.
Cleared for takeoff runway 17 right. Tango X-Ray 522.
Y'all damner. Here it is. Alright, so y'all damner has to be on for the autopilot to work. Technically, it's probably supposed to come on after takeoff, but I'm going to turn it on now. Alright, so we're clear for takeoff. Let's go ahead and roll onto the runway, and we'll start our clock. And turn on our landing lights as well. Okay, we're lined up 17 right, and we're going to be turning to the right. Ease the throttles up. Okay, there's takeoff power set. 1 and rotate. My throttle on my joystick is kind of messed up. Gears coming up. Let's go ahead and turn on nav. And then we'll do speed as well.
Going to 128.45522.
Flaps are coming up. Take a look outside. There's downtown Denver over there, it looks like. Or over here, I don't know. I've never been there. Very cool. Alright, supposed to be contacting departure.
Tango X-ray 522 is
Oops.
passing 8,500 feet, climbing 13,000 feet.
Tango X-ray 522 and for departure altimeter 30.21 continues to phone as planned. 522 reset transponder. Squawk 6232.
Oh, they want me to do transponder. I'm not sure how I do that. That's right. Let me see if I can figure that out real quick here. Transponder.
522 verified. Squawking 6232.
How do I do that? How do I do that? Dang it. Is it down here? Maybe it's down here.
522 verified. Squawking 6232.
Ident. I have no idea how to set my transponder, so it's not going to let me finish this IFR flight. She's going to cancel the IFR on me because I don't know how to set the transponder. Oops.
522 ISR flight plan
Yep.
is canceled.
Oh well.
Radar service terminated.
Who needs her anyway?
Squawk 1200. Maintain DSR. Frequency change approved.
Let's go ahead and climb up to about 18,000 maybe. Be good. And we can check the Aspen Airport information here as well. Let's pull up that. Airport info. So we're going to be coming in runway 15. Here's our frequencies. Let's take a look at the approach. We're doing runway, I think this is it. Runway 15 approach. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that's our approach. Okay, perfect. Alright, so we got that ready to go. Looks like the computer is picking up the nav points, so we have reached Foams. Now we're turning to Tavern. We're going to climb up to 18,000 feet here. Let's go ahead and just set it at 20,000. There we go. 20,000 feet set in the altimeter. We can set our landing speeds from the iPad over there. So So we have 36 souls on board today for this flight. We have plenty of fuel. I actually should have gotten rid of some of this fuel because it's such a short flight. So we're actually going to be landing kind of heavy with fuel. But oh, there's downtown below us. We can check that out. Let's get outside. There's downtown Denver. Looks great. Mile High City. Comment below if you're watching and you live here. Very cool. Sun coming up. Excellent. Just the textures on this aircraft look amazing. Looks like we're about up to our cruising altitude. Just about. Okay, so once we get to Tavern, I think we skipped these and we went to Connor, and then we go from Connor to our final waypoint here, which is Werner. Sorry, that's not our final waypoint. We go to Werner here, which brings us into the approach. As you can see, the approach kind of comes in with a left turn right in between the mountains here and right into Aspen runway 15. So that looks good. Okay, we're about ready to start our turn here.
Terrain.
Yeah, I see it. Okay, we're ready for landing. We're just waiting for our final clearance. And we're going to drop our landing gear and our landing flaps as well. What a fun approach, man. So you can see I'm just looking at the map over there and getting my little arrow right over that approach path. And we're going to start coming down on our altitude here. And I can already see the runway. I already have nice visual alignment with the runway. I'm going to go ahead and drop our gear so we can get our final flap settings in. Gear is down. Yep, gear is down and locked. We're going to go to full flaps for this landing. I don't need this anymore, so I'm just gonna minimize that. So we're gonna try to keep our approach speed down around 140 before we go to full flaps and aim for at this high altitude we're probably gonna have to aim for a bit faster than 120. So we're gonna hold it right about 140 here. And this last ridge here was 9,400 in altitude. Yeah, about 9,500. Adjust our trim. Oh, it's going to be quite a steep descent there, eh? Bringing a little bit of power here. Wind is 330, but I checked it online before this flight, and it was out of the south. So we're actually landing with a tailwind. That's less than ideal. Okay, final notch of flaps is in. Landing gear's down and locked. We're ready for landing. Just gotta scrub this last bit of altitude here. That is quite a drop there. Down to that runway. What was the altimeter? 3029, so altimeter set. Okay, let's watch our airspeed here. Really got to put in a lot of power with those flaps all down like that.
1,000.
A little windy.
400. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30.
Floating a bit. Alright, we found the ground. Ease that nose wheel down there. Coming up with the flaps, on with the brakes. Not bad. Floated a bit, not on the center line. But we'll take it. We'll take it. Looks like we can make this taxiway here. Alright, let's do a little bit of house maintenance here. Let's turn off our landing lights. That's good. And we can turn off Alright, let's contact ground, get our taxi clearance. We want to taxi to parking.
Aspen ground, Tango X-ray 522 taxi to parking.
Tango X-ray 522 taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Alpha 6 Alpha.
Taxiing to general aviation parking.
Let's pull up the
taxiway Alpha 6 Alpha 522.
airport information here. And we go to taxi, airport info. So taxi to general aviation parking. Well, I guess they don't have gates here. Alpha 6 Alpha. So we're on Alpha 6. You take Alpha and then general aviation's over here. I'm sure there's someone over there directing us in. Alright, so let's get taxiing over there. I don't see anyone yet. Not over there either. So this was a 32-minute flight according to our timer down there. From the time we took off. And landed. I think we can stop that. And I believe we can get rid of this. We'll just close it. Let's see if there is anyone out here to guide us in. I don't see anyone, so I'm just gonna kind of pull up over here on the right side. Just gonna make my own parking. Right over here. I think that'll work. Alright. Let's get down here and set our parking brake. And we can start shutting things down. Alright, so I think we just turn off our lights. And I think I'm supposed to actually start the APU before I turn off the engine and everything. That way we have power here for the aircraft. Let's see, what else can we do? Let's turn off the air conditioner. Okay, and lights are fine. That's all off. Let's turn off the window heating here. Just check on the APU. Oh, APU door is closed. What happened there? Get a power. Okay, APU door is open. Start. Okay. Not sure why the APU isn't starting, but it doesn't matter. We're here, so we'll just go ahead and shut off the engine. So we're gonna go down to our engine console. We're just gonna turn off that right engine, left engine. Everything's gonna start turning off on us since we don't have the APU running. We'll turn off our boost pumps. And shut down. That's all off, 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 off. Good. Oh, I forgot to turn off the iris. I guess it doesn't really matter now, but turn that off. And then we'll go back to our iPad here. Aircraft. We're going to open everything up. Wheel chocks in place. And there we go. And then the last thing to do is just to turn off the DC service and battery. Get outside the airplane real quick before we go. If it will let me. There we go. And we have arrived. Alright, so the doors are all open, wheel chocks in place. We made it here in one piece. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this flight as much as I enjoyed flying it. Like I said, I'm still very new to this aircraft, and I'm new to the whole Navigraph program, plotting proper flights, we should say, that are more realistic. So if you're experienced with it, go easy on me, but I'm enjoying it, and I enjoy sharing it with you. So thanks, as always, for watching, guys. Hope you're doing well. Take care, and we will see you soon.